Be aware, some more wet weather and strong winds for you. In fact, if you're anywhere in northeastern, northwestern Ontario, all the way across to New Brunswick, you have a potential for some severe thunderstorms. Very strong winds are associated with this system, even a potential for some hail. Some people have actually reported some hail. Some have even seen some funnel clouds, but that hasn't been reported, or it hasn't been confirmed rather. Now into Monday, we're looking at even windier and even more severe conditions for extreme southwestern Ontario. That's another system that's moving in. It's currently in the States right now. And all the way along the St. Lawrence, the north and the south coast, you're going to be seeing some non-severe weather on Monday. So keeping an umbrella handy for sure. Now these are the conditions we're expecting through the Great Lakes Basin. It's going to be another hot one for sure. Temperature is going up to 30 Monday, but with the humidex, as you can see, humidity, of course, depicted in the yellow here, it's going to be feeling like 42. So that humidex advisory that Environment Canada has issued, it's been extended for a third day in a row. It's been a scorcher. And all this hot weather, of course, it's been quite warm in the East Coast as well. It definitely does have the potential to spark more storms, and that's the same line of thunderstorms that's affecting Ontario. So isolated, severe even for a lot of us across eastern Canada. It looks like St. John's, you're going to be clear until the following day. These are the temperatures we're expecting, and again, keeping in mind that rain is there and it will be humid as well. So it's going to be feeling warmer than those values you're seeing. Here are the values that we're expecting for northeastern, northwestern Ontario. Still also very warm and a lot of humidity in your forecast. All right. Let's begin with your long-range forecast. Let's begin on Tuesday, where hot and humid weather is what we're expecting across many parts of the prairies. It's going to be seasonal, though, for us in Ontario and Quebec. That means it's going back to temperatures of 29. So it's still going to be very hot and still a little bit wet into the eastern regions. Now, sunny skies for you in Vancouver. And that's good news because it's going to be like that on Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday, be aware you're looking at some rainy weather, and really it's going to be a vast system affecting many parts of BC and Alberta. Hot with a low pressure system affecting a lot of us in southern parts of the prairies. Seasonal and still a little bit wet to the eastern seaboard of Canada on Wednesday, and on Thursday still more unsettled weather to come all the way through Ontario, Quebec and Atlantic Canada, but less humid for us in the prairies with some systems here. The drought situation across the Horn of Africa is dire. UNICEF has already called for immediate assistance to help the 500,000 children at risk of dying of starvation. Across Kenya, Ethiopia and Somalia, nearly 11 million people are at risk. Now we have more on this coming up shortly. Your Weather Watch continues. That was your local forecast. Now for a look at the top weather stories. Hello, I'm Kasia Bodurka. Heat is blasting central Canada in a big way. The hot and humid weather spans all the way from central Saskatchewan through to the Maritimes. Official heat wave status could be in the cards for some cities, including Winnipeg and Windsor, over the next few days. We'll have more details on that coming up. Meanwhile, the combination of heat and humidity proved to be too much for some regions. Now, the scorching heat is doing little to help the dozens of wildfires burning out of control in northwestern Ontario. At last check, there were 92 active infernos, with more expected to spark over the next few days. From fighting fires in Ontario to pesky insects in Alberta, it seems Edmonton has briefly inherited the title of mosquito capital of Canada. Please stay with us. Your Weather Watch continues. There's a lot of monkeying around going on in this Rio de Janeiro neighborhood. Take a look at this. Vets are encouraging people to stop feeding them. I personally would have a problem with that. They're so cute. I would definitely feed them food. More coming up shortly. Well, all that hot and humid air mass that we've been experiencing, it definitely can fuel thunderstorms. In fact, there is a risk of potential across northwestern, northeastern Ontario, all the way to New Brunswick. And this is all in the overnight hours. It could be potentially severe for some of us, meaning we could see some hail, very strong winds. Some of us already saw a bout of these thunderstorms on Sunday. Very strong winds up to 120 kilometers an hour. Now on Monday, the potential becomes a little bit worse for southwestern Ontario because another bout of thunderstorms will be making its way into the area, and they could be more severe due to all this humid weather. You're right on time for your local forecast. It's happening in less than a minute. And right after that, we're going to be talking about weather stories across the country. We even have incredible footage of what went on in Ottawa Sunday evening. I'll give you a little sneak peek. This looks like something from a movie, and more rain to come for you in Manitoba. We'll have more on this coming up. Oh, the weekend's done. The work week is pretty much here. Hello, I'm Kasia Bodurka. You're right on time for your national forecast. Was it hot enough for you? So many of us had hot and hazy, very humid conditions across the country, really. And that hot and humid weather was really potential, or it was enough to spark up a line of thunderstorms across Ontario and Quebec. I first take you to Ottawa. Check out this amazing footage we have. Imagine you're at the Ottawa Blues Fest and this happens. Kind of weather, very wet, and some of us are just praying for wet weather because it's been so very dry. For instance, in southern Ontario, we only got 6 millimeters of rain since July 1st. We're at the 17th. We're mid-month, and we've only got 4 millimeters of rain in southern Ontario. Well, rain is on its way. I'm so happy to report all the way from southern Ontario, northwestern Ontario, all the way to New Brunswick. We are under a risk of severe thunderstorms throughout the evening hours. And Monday, more thunderstorms to come. In fact, it could be a little bit more severe for us in northwestern or southwestern Ontario, rather, all the way from Windsor up to the Toronto area. You could be seeing very windy conditions associated with this line of thunderstorms, which is currently in the States. That's going to be making its way into the afternoon hours for us. These are the temperatures we're expecting. Also, another hot day. We broke some records on Sunday, and Manitoba broke records on Saturday. It was the hottest place in the country, really. 30 degrees and rainy weather is what we're expecting on Monday, but with the humidex, as you can see, these numbers in yellow, that's how it's going to be feeling. So it's going to be another uncomfortable day for a lot of us. And again, more thunderstorms to you in eastern Canada. It's a good thing we had a really nice weekend, a lot of sunshine. It was just ideal beach weather. Not the case for Monday. Bring your umbrellas to work, will you? Because you could get wet. Okay, so we're looking at some temperature values for you. Also on the rise, everybody's getting quite warm. And again, a lot of us will be looking at the wet weather on Monday and over to cottage country north of the Great Lakes, northwestern Ontario. Really, some rain is in your forecast as well. Geraldton 26 and some rainy weather. And again, that humidex is in place, so it's going to be feeling much warmer. Stick with us. Did you get enough humid weather in southern parts of the prairies? Well, more to come on Tuesday. Take a look. Humid, sunny though, and really quite beautiful across many parts of the prairies. But a low pressure system to the north, but back to seasonal for us in Ontario and Quebec. Now seasonal, by that I mean 29 degrees. It's still going to be quite hot, but not as hot as it has been, and that's due to that cold front that's passing through. Now, some more rainy weather for certain parts of the Maritimes, but it should be clearing up. Now, we are looking at sunny skies also to Vancouver, Victoria, and enjoy it because, take a look. We're looking at some wet weather for you and a vast system really bringing all sorts of unsettled weather to us through parts of Western Canada. And also, as you can see, parts of Ontario and southern regions of Manitoba. Some wet weather is coming to you and a vast system rather across Ontario, Quebec, all the way pushing north. Thursday, also a lot of unsettled weather. Stick with us. You are almost on time for your local forecast. It's coming up in less than a minute. Meantime, I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek as to what to expect across the country over the next day. Now, we're already seeing active weather in these parts, but come Monday morning, we're looking at a dissipating of this system, bringing us thunderstorms in the overnight hours, but a new system makes its way into the GTA area, the lower Great Lakes Basin, bringing us thunderstorms in the afternoon. Now, the same system will be making its way into the eastern border of the country. As you can see, a lot of us are going to be seeing rain throughout the day Monday, but when the day is all said and done, by the evening hours, the Maritimes are going to be done with it. Newfoundland, you're still going to be into the clouds, the mix of sun and cloud, mostly cloudiness. Now, here we are in the western part of the country where we are seeing pockets of unsettled weather. If you're not in any of these areas, though, sunny skies and warm temperatures is what you'll be expecting. It could get dangerous, and that, of course, courtesy of winds gusting up to 120 kilometers an hour. And, of course, there is a vast risk all the way across from northwestern Ontario all the way to New Brunswick. This could be all happening before the sun comes up. It could be severe for some of us, and again, very strong winds is our greatest threat when it comes to the system. Now, Monday, it could become a little bit more severe for us into the afternoon hours for southwestern Ontario. That's another system, actually, a completely different system that could be affecting us in the afternoon hours. And again, pushing all the way up to the mouth of the St. Lawrence, the north and the south shore. And of course, all of this is courtesy or partially due to all the very humid weather we've been seeing. A humidex advisory is well in place. So glad you could join us here. You're right on time for your national forecast. Hello, my name is Kasia Bodurka, and I am about to break down the weather story for you across the country because I'm sure a lot of you haven't been watching too much TV over the weekend. It was really beautiful for a lot of us. We had hot and sunny weather, including here in Ontario. Take a look at this footage. People were almost confused that lived in surrounding areas and said people are running around everywhere, and there were some injuries reported associated with that because winds were really gusting at 120 kilometers an hour, as they could be before the sun comes up. So anywhere from northwestern Ontario to New Brunswick, you could be seeing additional isolated severe thunderstorms. So keeping note of that. Now into Monday, though, it's going to get a little more severe for us in southwestern Ontario. So very windy weather is your greatest threat associated with this system. We are hoping for more rain. I know, because it's been so very dry in these parts. Here's your temperature story. It's going to be 30, although it's going to feel like 42 for the Great Lakes Basin. It's going to be so hot. So again, keeping inside and definitely keeping hydrated. All right, I take you to Vancouver. Monday, it's going to be sunny as well. So it's going to be quite nice. Tuesday's even going to be nice, I can tell you. But then Wednesday, we're looking at some rainy weather. I'm going to get out of the way there. As you can see, there is just a lot of instability across Western Canada. So along this trough, you're seeing more intense weather, so maybe heavier downpours for these areas, but it's not looking to be anything too intense, especially along the shores, along the coast. You're not going to be seeing a lot of rainy weather. These are the temperatures we're expecting. As you can see, sunny icons. We like to see that. 21 degrees for Vancouver, Victoria as well, and really the similar story for a lot of us in Western Canada. Here's some secondary cities. Oh, Edmonton there. We are looking at a potential for some thunderstorms for you, and that extends all the way to Lloydminster and into Saskatchewan as well. We'll keep you posted on that advisory as well. Now into the Prairie region, sunny skies and hot temperatures as well, and humidex advisories for you as well. It's going to be feeling much warmer. Your long range is now. Did you get enough humid weather in southern parts of the prairies? Well, more to come on Tuesday. Take a look. Humid, sunny though, and really quite beautiful across many parts of the prairies. But a low pressure system to the north, but back to seasonal for us in Ontario and Quebec. Now seasonal, by that I mean 29 degrees. It's still going to be quite hot, but not as hot as it has been, and that's due to that cold front that's passing through. Now, some more rainy weather for certain parts of the Maritimes, but it should be clearing up. Now, we are looking at sunny skies also to Vancouver, Victoria, and enjoy it because, take a look. We're looking at some wet weather for you, and a vast system really bringing all sorts of unsettled weather to us through parts of western Canada, and also, as you can see, parts of Ontario and southern regions of Manitoba. Some wet weather is coming to you, and a vast system rather across Ontario, Quebec, all the way pushing north. Thursday, also a lot of unsettled weather. Stick with us.